On Jaylen Wright first, if I can get this up. Here we go. Jaylen Wright out of Tennessee, 5'10, 210 pounds. Look, numbers wise, absurd. And I'll just say this: I didn't choose Jonathan Brooks. Because the 40 time, you're going to go, Mike. How much do you care about the 40 time when half of it's there's a lot of teaching that goes into being able to run a fast 40, and it doesn't translate to play speed. I understand that completely. We don't have the GPS numbers. I have to cut the herd somehow, and quite frankly, there's no way that Jonathan Brooks is as good as Bijan Robinson from last year. Played the same position at the same place. So I just kind of took him off the board. That's probably not fair. Because on a lot of these draft things, he's number one, and he probably well deserved. So you make a couple assumptions. One, at 25, he's not going to be there. And two, Lightning can't strike twice. So 4.38 40, lightning fast, 38-inch vert. I mean, that's going to be a top percentile guy for you guys who love the RAS scores. And then 134-inch broad jump is honestly absurd. So let's take one more peek here. The number one thing for me when I'm watching this player, he's got elite speed, but can he hold up? If you don't want to completely change the offense and just, you want to run your mid zone, you want to run your outside, you want to run your scheme game, you want to put him in the slot. How many hits can this guy take given the way that he runs? So first things first, I of course have to start this off with, what did I do? Just a fantastic job by the offensive line. So we've got a little stunt here by the defense. Center really does a good job of coming off and picking up the inside slant. Bang, opens it up. 33 just for some reason sits on the backside and lets the tackle eat him up. And like I'm saying here with this safety, you shift, you beat. This guy with this kind of speed, you shift your weight. You see his right shoulder's dipped, coming in the wrong angle. Bye-bye. I mean, this guy is lightning, man. It's fun. It's funny. The thing about like wide receivers, DBs, and running backs, it's just fun to watch guys run fast. I don't get it. You sit here and watch 100. I was watching some soccer last night, some kids soccer, and there's just one kid that's like faster than everybody else, and you just start watching them because you go, it's just like anything else. It's like watching the guys lift heavy weights, guys run fast. Fun to watch, man. Here's the kind of stuff we're talking. So in college, you might be able to think, okay, I'll just outrun this defensive tackle, even though this player has outside. The defensive back for Georgia has done his job. He's outside leverage. You're not going to get outside of him, or at least that's not the pathway to success. You put your foot in the ground right now, the way this is looking, you can get downhill. You might be able to beat this defensive tackle. If you don't beat him, you're going to at least get past the line of scrimmage. It's going to hurt, but you got to go. We're not running away from anybody like in this situation right here. When you watch this player, and this happens to a lot to young guys, it's be more decisive. There's a lot of backfield jump cuts. And some of this stuff is like, look, Georgia's got a great defense, and they're beating players on the offensive line right now. What you'd like to see is, look, there's only one Barry Sanders, right? And you want to, if you're going to be a guy that dances in the backfield, it's got to pay off more than it pays off for this particular player. You want to see guys that are a little more decisive. You got kind of a two-way go here, and he just kind of runs into the back, fumbles his way around. You see this, again, just elite play speed. And the job that the offensive line does of creating seams, it's always hard to watch high-level running backs in the college game. Because, like, for example, Georgia's famous for running like they're 33, but they're not playing top-level competition all the time. Like, this isn't an NFL defense. They'll give up a lot of yards on the ground if that's the choice versus, giving the quarterback the ball 50 times. But you just see the way this guy can hit a hole. If you think about the mid-zone stuff and kind of getting at that angle, putting his foot in the ground or being able to accelerate, he is absolutely a different kind of playmaker. Now, this is where we talk about scheme, style, and fit. you hand him the ball and he's going downhill. It's not that he can't have success. It's just like we'll show two of these where it's not as smooth. When he's got things happen fast, you got to make a jump cut or something. It just doesn't look the same as it does from a mid zone. So here we've got guys covered up, but inside leverage against, believe that's the guard on the upside. The left guard's got, got not beat, but the defensive tackle's doing a good job holding it for inside leverage. And you got to kind of make a decision here. I'm going to hit this thing as hard as I can because you even see the center rising on the other side. These blocks don't last forever. And when it's time to go, you got to go. He jump cuts, ends up getting washed. And guys go, oh, that's the old line spot. Fair enough. But I'm just telling you, like, you've seen guys like Amon Green that I played with, other kind of dynamic but more polished running backs. When they know it's just going to, hey, let's fight for a hard two, and it's time to fight for a hard two, they'll just fight for a hard two. Same kind of idea here. How fast can you hit the hole? This play, that's honestly just a standout play by this defensive back. Getting chased down. Is there the awareness? Does he know he's there? You just, with the lack of a backside hand here to stave off, you just always wonder. So I think for me, if the Packers are going to run mid zone, outside zone, he's a better option certainly than AJ because he's such a change of pace. You don't get a great sense of all the downhill stuff. Like Josh Jacobs is, it's like Josh is good at a lot of things. He's an NFL running back, and this guy can develop into that. But you just say, what is the natural predilection for this player? It's like, B gap, C gap kind of runner. Didn't see a lot of cutback. Didn't see a lot of decisiveness when he had to go hit A gap and maybe jump cut. Didn't see a lot of get behind your pads and make first downs. Now, one of the things, can he hold up? He's 5'10", 210 pounds. He's not small, but he's not big. He's got that elite level speed. He kind of looks like Chris Johnson a little bit. I don't want to say he's Chris Johnson at all because he's not necessarily. But just from a body type, he kind of looks like that. He's got the small ankles, he's super, super, super fast. You can get him in space, and certainly as a change of pace guy, probably not a first round guy for the Green Bay Packers, but as a change of pace guy, it's certainly interesting.